Welcome to JK's Deal Reveal. We're going to get started in just under 1 minute, but you will absolutely be blown away by what we have for you this evening on the Deal Reveal. Many massive reveals coming soon. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another deal reveal. But this deal reveal, I think, is going to be the biggest, best, most amazing one to date. Whether you're an active investor, whether you're a passive investor in US real estate, this was the call to log into. So, welcome to the deal reveal. We have been doing this for over 4 years. It's approaching 4.5 years. Every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, I've been revealing a deal. Sometimes it's my deal, sometimes it's a community member's deal, sometimes it's a deal that you submitted to me and say, hey, Kyle, what do you think about this? Well, let's see. Let's bring it on the deal reveal and I'll analyze it live. That's what we've been doing for over 4 years consistently. I think I might have missed one. All right. Um, and here we are for the very first time. We are going to, in fact, the big launch is tomorrow, where we are going to drop. We are going to launch to the public, to everybody, the Deal Zone. And today I'm going to give you a little sneak peek about it. And tomorrow, be sure to check your email. If you're on this call, it's because you're already subscribed to our mailing list, unless you unsubscribed at some point. So tomorrow, be sure to check your spam, your email, the Facebook page, the Facebook group if you're part of it, because you will, for the first time ever, have access to the Deal Zone, and you'll be able to not just wait on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. to get your discounted, cash flowing, off market deals. You will have the Deal Zone that's going to be a conveyor belt of off market opportunities where myself, our team, and our processes are going to pre verify the financials for you. Not only bringing you off market deals, but pre verifying those financials for you to make sure that we are not, but you are not buying just a dream or a thought. You're actually buying something and you want that something. So it's really exciting. And Ludwig, yes, can't wait to start this adventure in the US. My God, you could not have picked a better time to jump in. As most of you probably know, Janie and I have been doing this for over 10 years now. In fact, we're just approaching the 10-year mark. I shouldn't say over. Our first acquisition was just under 10 years ago. And here we are today, making it so much easier for you than it was for us. So a bunch of you have logged in. We have a nice big crowd here today. And so I'd like to welcome Andre and Bobby and Catherine and Charles and David, Enrique, Ethel, I hope I'm saying everyone's names right. Glenn, Imran, Isabel, Jenny, Joe, hey Joe, John, Larry, Leonard, Ludwig, Martin, Martin, Mike, Nancy, Paulo, Rob, and more people are logging in. I already lost about a dozen. Stan, Steve, Varun, Victoria. Nice to have you all here live. And of course, everybody listening in, cross-posting live to Facebook and YouTube as we speak. Hello. I don't see your names, but I know you're there. Let's get started with this deal reveal because it's twofold, maybe even threefold. We'll see how many folds we can get in here. But I've got a deal. First and foremost, like our standard deal reveal, I have a deal that one of our community members, Bobby, Bobby submitted a deal to review. And so we're going to do the regular deal reveal thing. I'm going to give you the teaser to the Deal Zone, so check that out tomorrow. And there's also going to be an opportunity. I'm going to start with the third opportunity for you to be passive, potentially, in one of our deals. So let's get started with our deal reveal.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Live
I am bringing the energy. Let's get going. What is the deal of the week? What are the deals of the week? Well, first and foremost, I'm going to jump right to this one. For those of you who've been following, I've been working this deal since December last year. What deal am I talking about? A 19 unit in downtown Cleveland. And we are at the very, very final steps. We're probably about 3 weeks away from closing at this point. There's one last box we need to check for the lenders. And unfortunately, along the way, one of our investors who was part of this deal decided to back out. And so that's really, really sad for them. It's really, really sad for us, but that might be really, really good for you because suddenly there's an open spot. So if you are interested to be passive and to be part of a deal, a huge value add deal, we're going to create about 600, maybe $700,000 of equity in about 12 months. And this was meant to be a JK community project so that we all come together and really changing, not changing, but yeah, well, changing the historic landscape of Cleveland because this property is one of the few surviving millionaire row mansions in Cleveland. And we're super excited. It is an incredible property. For those of you who were on the last Epic Bus Tour, we actually visited the property. We went in it, we showed, and everyone was blown away. And so now there's an opportunity to potentially jump in. There's a spot that freed up. And so if you are interested, send us an email, info@jkrealestatepartners.com. And JK team, if you can just drop the link, I'll be having a conversation with you in the next couple days, maybe next week, and we'll see if it's a fit. That's as easy as it's gonna get. And I have all the financials. I got everything for you. We are personally already over, right around $15,000 in the due diligence for this deal. We're right at the end, and now we got the final kick. So this could not be better for some of you in the room, I'm sure. So that's the first reveal. The second reveal is going to be this property submitted by Bobby in Cleveland, and asking 175,000. So this is the standard deal reveal portion of the evening. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend a couple of minutes and we're going to do um, our quick check to see, does this deal meet the two golden rules of real estate? Are we buying it at a discount, and are we buying cash flow? And then we'll see what the deal zone will have to do with all that after the fact. Do we like that? Do we like where we're going this evening? Show me some love. Let's go in. There's over, yeah, there's over a dozen new people, so there's lots of energy. There's some fresh, there we go. Fresh energy in the room. Fantastic. So let's get started. At any point during the deal reveal in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you can say, is this a deal or no deal? And feel free to populate if you have any questions in here. I'm usually good at answering them along the way. So let's get started. 11611 Saywell Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44108 for $175,000. Let us begin our deal reveal. So first and foremost, I like to go to Google with the address and put in realtor at the end of it. See, I didn't even spell it right, and it still finds it. That's how 80-20 rule you can get with this. But I like to go to realtor.com first to get a sense of what this property looks like, feels like. So here, it just so happens that we do have some, and look at that. It says it's 180,000, and I was told it was 175. So that's even good. We even have some discounts just by showing up here. It seems to be rent ready condition. Nothing too fancy, certainly not the prettiest, not the ugliest, but for Cleveland, inner city Cleveland, you don't need much better than this. I personally would like to see it better than this. I don't know if these are the most updated pictures, but I do know that the property was renovated this year. So 7 hours ago. So maybe these are the most updated pictures, but we'll see. I don't know. Asking 180. It's a 5-3. It is a triplex, so there are three incomes coming in, which is very nice. Of course, at 175, it's a pretty penny. They're certainly asking top or above market, just off the cuff here, but the income for cash flow is probably going to support it. So the reason I like to go to Realtor, one, to see if it exists, two, check the pictures really quick, and third, I like to go to the home value section of realtor.com right here. So this is an algorithm. Usually we have three different data algorithms working at the same time. Here, there's probably not enough data points to accurately go. So only collateral analytics is giving some data. And what I like to do is I like to go from start to end. I like to kind of put an average line in between. Boom. I'm landing right around 110, 120,000 really quick is what it looks like this property value is just based off this very quick analysis. Now, we're going to have to dig deeper into this if you're looking to buy it, but I have serious doubts that it's worth 175. Just looking off this, and of course, my own local knowledge here in Cleveland, it looks like it is significantly, they're asking significantly above market value. And so right out the gate, it's making it harder for it to be a deal. If I'm going to pay full price for a property, the cash flow better be very, very, very strong, abnormally strong if I'm going to pay full price or above full price, which I've done in the past and I'm happy doing. But the cash flow really has to be there and wow me if I'm going to pay above market value. So first golden rule of real estate right out the gate, it's not looking like there's a discount here at 175. There's an expression in French, I eat my hat, je mangerai mon chapeau, if this property is worth more than 175. So golden rule number one, it doesn't look like we've got discount. Doesn't look like we're buying with equity day one. So that's the first golden rule of real estate. Second golden rule is, are we buying cash flow? Now, thankfully, there are three incomes coming in from this property, and there is a total of 2,900 a year, a month coming in from these three units, and it is currently tenanted. Currently tenanted. So what's really nice with this is if you have that gross monthly income, you can find out what the gross yearly income is by multiplying by 12. So we're right around $35,000 a year in gross income off this property. Since this is a Cleveland inner city and multifamily, we could use the 50% rule to get an idea of what the NOI for this property is, the net operating income. So that's after you pay for taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, utilities, and a shit buffer budget. You have what's left over, your cash flow would be your NOI. So the 50% rule is one we use often to go from gross income to net income. But since, again, we are in inner city Cleveland in a multifamily, I'm very comfortable putting a 55% rule, heck, even a 60% rule if I were doing this. But here on the deal reveal, let's be really conservative. I'm going to use a 55% rule in this case, which means that I'm estimating right off the cuff that this property has an NOI of about $19,000 a year. Now, if this is a true turnkey property, and I would sure hope it is at that price and the fact that it is tenanted, meaning if I buy this property for 175,000 and its NOI is 19,000, well, you can find out how hard your money is working for you if you divide the NOI by your purchase price or your all-in cost. And in this case, it's turnkey, so you don't have renovations, so your all-in cost would be 175, unless you negotiate it. And let's pretend we negotiate because that property is just way too high. And I'm going to say it's 150, and even that might be too expensive. But let's say we have that property that you buy for 150,000 and it's making $19,000 a year. If you divide 19,000 by 150, you get 12.76 or 12.8. That is your cap rate, a 12.8 cap, right? So that's a percentage, so 12.8% cap rate, meaning the money you invest in this property is generating almost 13% a year. That's a very strong cap rate. Compare that to any cap rate in your market. Your market is probably a 3, 4, 5 cap, and this is a 12.8, it looks like. So it's probably twice or three times as strong in terms of cash flow than markets that you're used to back home, especially if you're listening in from any type of metro in Canada. So do we have cash flow on this deal? At a 12.8 cap, you definitely have cash flow on this deal. So the second golden rule of real estate, I'm going to give it a thumbs up on this one. Anything in a double-digit cap is very, very strong. And so here we're at 12.8. One thing that could be fun to know is those rents, that 2,900, is that market rent? Is that below? Is that above, right? And so one thing we can do is we can go to rentometer.com and we can put in the property's address. I know this one has a two bedroom, and a one bedroom because it's a 5-3 property. So you'd put in a two bedroom, one bath apartment. You would do your estimations once, another time for the other unit, and you'd run it again a third time for that last one bedroom, and you'd add them all up together. Okay, that's the first way to run to see how are the current rents comparing to the market or the average rents. And another way, because we're in inner city Cleveland, I'm always thinking, what about the subsidized rent programs, right? Like Section 8, CMHA here in Cleveland is what we call it. So this particular way to estimate, all you need is the zip code 44108, and then you can go in here, search by zip code, and you see that a two bedroom can pay right up to 1,100 and a one bedroom up to 900. So current rents are 29, and Section 8, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to say 1,000 for the first two bedroom, another 1,000 for the second bedroom, and the one bedroom I'm going to be about at 800. So even with Section 8 and being a little bit conservative, we're right at current rents. So there is no value add on the rents here. There's no value add to make it a subsidized, property. And so I wouldn't touch it. I would make sure that those tenants are solid tenants and we want to keep them, and that's good. But there's no value add play on the rents here. It's unfortunate. A lot of properties in Cleveland are currently renting for 6, 7, 800, and market rents are 900, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, and very often there's large value add plays just because rents have not been increased for a decade or two. So that could be a huge thing. Not the case here. So what we're looking at is kind of what I said. It looks like we're paying full price or above full price, and it looks like we have cash flow, and there's no value add other than just year after year, maybe doing small rent increases so that every year your investment gets better and better, but there's no big jump to expect quickly off this particular property. So with that being said, first golden rule of real estate, buying at a discount, I don't think that's going to happen. Second golden rule, are we buying cash flow? Yes, we are. And like all real estate, over time, that cash flow is going to increase and increase because next year, say you increase rent by each one of the units by 25 bucks, that's $75 a month more cash flow than what you currently have. Right? $75 more cash flow than there's over $1,000 of monthly cash flow on this property, even after debt service as it is. And every year you're basically adding $100 of cash flow every year. So just in 10 years, you've doubled your cash flow on this property, and now it's cash flowing $2,000 a month off this one investment. So you see how every year and every decade it's just getting better and better. And on top of that, your mortgage is going down and down. So just another one of the beautiful powers of real estate. Last little thing, I just want to give one extra little tip because I've done this on a deal recently and it really worked well for me. When a seller like this one is asking too much, that first golden rule is not being satisfied, but you know the cash flow is strong. What you can do is you can make your offer contingent on the appraisal, right? And so what you can do is say, hey, I like this. I'm happy to pay close to full price because it's a property I like. It has good numbers. It's a good location, whatever reason you want to say. But I can't pay more than full price. If I wanted to pay full price, I'd buy something that was, beautifully done, and I'd pay full price. I wouldn't buy an inner city Cleveland or whatever. So what you can do is you can put your offer contingent on appraisal. Not only that, you can put your offer contingent on being 5% below the appraisal or 10% below the appraisal or at appraisal. So at least you're sure you're not paying more than the property is worth. So that could be a way to hedge your risk. You know the cash flow is there. What what you don't think is there is the equity at purchase. So why don't you put your offer contingent on that? Ding. And that's how I recently bought a sweet duplex at a discount, turnkey, with some incredible cash flow. So yeah, so just a little hint and trick there. So that was the second reveal of the property. If you are interested in this particular property, send us an email. info@jkrealestatepartners.com. We will connect you with Bobby, and you and Bobby can have conversations of how you want to take this deal down, or if there's a wholesale involved, or if there's a JV, or whatever you want to do. The conversation is Bobby's to have with you. So that is our deal reveal property for the day. The third and final reveal, as promised, is our beautiful deal zone. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We have already had two properties posted on the deal zone. Some of our beta testers have uploaded some properties, and already two of those properties have been sold, right? So very, very cool. Here are some other properties already listed on the platform that are going to be available for you tomorrow as soon as you log in. All right, so we got some higher end, some very nice single families, but we also have some lower end that needs some rehab, needs some work, and there's some lift involved. There's also a larger property, a large commercial property here, a mobile home park that was added. This is the property that we just visited right now that we can look into for details. And this is actually a property that we are going to flip in about 2 weeks. So we don't have pictures yet, but they're coming soon. So, and there's more properties as well on the deal zone. So here's what's really, really cool about the deal zone. So you can sell a property, you can wholesale a property, you can buy a property, or of course you can just learn more with the blog and become a service provider. So if you or someone you know is a property inspector, Joe's already on the site. He's our go-to for sure. But I think Joe's gonna get swamped. Yeah, I'm sure that's your heart there, Joe. Yeah, absolutely. I hope we swamp Joe, because that just means that we're flowing, right? And so if you are a service provider here locally in Cleveland, well, be sure to put in your application so we can interview you, make sure you're a fit for the community, and then we'll add you. And the way it works is that, let's say you wanna buy a property, so you go to buy, and then you could put in your filters like what city you're in, how many beds or bath. Soon we're gonna have, oh, actually we have it right here, the advanced filters. You could put in a price range, you can put in the year built, amenities, you can do all this fun stuff, and it's gonna filter different deals for you. Let's go look at the property we just looked at today, shall we? This property right here. Boom. We got some pictures, of course. Nothing too new there. We have the specs for the property, the 5 bedroom, 3 bath, square footage, data construction, heating, parking, lot size, bedroom, bathroom, number of rooms, living space, occupancy status, details about the property. Like I mentioned, it was 2,900 per month. 1100, 1100, 700. Those two bedrooms are actually renting very, very high, which is fantastic. So there might be a little value add play if you want to make that third unit into Section 8, maybe get an extra 100, but that's about it. Maybe an extra 100 or 150, but that's about it. And just more details, right? If there's any HOA fees, if there's and just reasons for selling. That could be fun too, that you don't usually see elsewhere. And this is where I want to bring your attention to the financial details. Now, keep in mind that we're still, until tomorrow, we're still in construction. So there's going to be some numbers that don't make a ton of sense here, and I'll explain why. But the idea is that we are going to do those calculations for you, and we're going to help you verify that those numbers are true. Okay, so here goes. Gross income. Now, this is pretty easy. It's tenanted, 2,900 a month. The seller is going to have to provide leases, is going to have to provide proof that the rent truly is 2,900. So they're going to upload that before this property becomes verified. So let me just go back just for a quick second here. Notice that some properties are verified right up here, and some properties are not verified. All right, and that's all fine. It just means that the verified ones, someone from the Deal Zone team went in, made sure that the numbers that the seller submitted have proof for those numbers. And when everything lines up, then the property is verified. If they didn't supply the proof and they're just stating numbers, that's fine too, like basically everywhere else. It's just not verified. So obviously it's going to give you a certain level of confidence jumping into properties that are verified compared to those that are not. But that doesn't mean don't put offers on non-verified. It just means what it means. So here we have income, and then we have the expenses, and the same thing for the expenses. We got sewer, water, electricity, gas, trash or other, property taxes, insurance, management, maintenance, and HOAs. If the number is here, it means one of two things. It either means that the property that expense has been verified, meaning they provided the utility bill and that number is verified. Or if they didn't, I went in and provided very good estimates for all of these expenses, just averages, right? For all these expenses. So when you're looking at the total expenses, and here the reason the numbers are off is because the property taxes are, this is the yearly tax, not the monthly tax, so it's throwing all the numbers off. So don't worry too much about these numbers. It'll be fixed by tomorrow. But the point here is we will add up either all verified numbers or numbers based on our local experience here in Cleveland, so that when you look at these numbers, you're like, okay, those are the numbers. And that's going to give you all the reassurance in the world to put in that offer. So gross income expenses, we'll subtract one from the other. We'll get your NOI, and then we'll get your cap rate right from the site. And you'll be able to filter by cap rate, filter by area, and do all of that direct. Well, I mean, we did all that for you, so you can take it from there and run in to put in an offer. You make an offer just like that. Let's get started. Put in an offer. Boom, boom, boom. One page. Submit your offer. The seller gets notified. They accept or counter your offer. You hit and achieve. You achieve a middle ground. You get your offer accepted. The system submits a purchase and sale agreement for you. Gets it signed by both parties. Boom. As soon as it's signed, it goes to our preferred partnered title company here in Cleveland who knows how to process these things. They're going to be your quarterback moving forward. But wait, that's not all. You got a property under contract. Now it's time to do your official due diligence. So what do you need? You need a property inspector. You need a general contractor. You need an insurance broker. You will eventually maybe need a lender. You will need maybe the deal butler. Maybe you want to hire the deal butler. All of these contacts are available to you after you have an offer accepted, so you can book right into all those professionals' calendars to assign them to a property so you can complete your due diligence efficiently, smoothly, and professionally. How do we like that, ladies and gentlemen? The JK Deal Zone tomorrow is going live for you. A labor of love, let me tell you. A dozen developers have been part of this project. 6 months of effort, three core partners involved in this deal, nearly $50,000. It doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot going on here. And we are so, so, so excited to launch it tomorrow, July 4th. Financial Independence Day, whether you're in the US or in Canada, we finally have an Independence Day in Canada, but it'll be your financial Independence Day thanks to the JK Deal Zone. So, with that being said, that is our deal reveal, our deal reveals for the evening. We have a property for you. We have an opportunity for you to invest in one of our deals, the 19 unit in downtown Cleveland, as a passive partner. If you want to have a conversation, we can do that. And lastly, the Deal Zone is going live tomorrow, and we're so excited to have you be part of this journey, which has never been simpler, right? JK Deal Zone, simply off market. How's that sound? Do we like it? Woo-woo. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. So, so, so much. If you think we have a deal here, oh, look at all that love. I appreciate you all. You are amazing. If you think we have a deal here, send us an email. Let us know what you think. Ask your questions. Get involved. We have a bus tour coming up in about a month's time in early August as well. If you want to go in there, spots have already started to fill. I actually saw another 2 ticket sales come in today, so that bus is filling up already. And we're just so excited. There's just so much going on, and we want you to be a part of it. So, with that being said, have yourself an amazing evening. Do now for tomorrow for the lifestyle you deserve, and go get your miracle. Have a great evening, everyone. Happy 4th. Happy Financial Independence Day. We'll see you on the other side.